Hey, good morning, everybody. This is John Gruden. I'm down in Tampa, Florida at the Fired Football Coaches Association. Just taking a good look at our center quarterback exchange. I mean, we got to fire the ball up. I'm not talking about shotgun snaps. I'm talking about get underneath the center, rifle that ball up. We might even have a left-handed center. Hell, a right-handed center, a backup center. There's a lot of problems with quarterback center exchanges. And I'm not just going to get in the shotgun and clap my hands like a caveman did before electricity. But anyways, I got interrupted by the Badger League of Fantasy Football. And if you know me, you know I love fantasy football. I love it for the fact that you guys love football, you need football, you know football, and you love to compete. And you'll do anything to win. And that's why I like the Badger League of Fantasy Football. Now, I have been making extensive notes from around the country. I study different leagues, and when I look at the Badger League, FFL, I mean, I realize it's a 14-team league. It's a competitive league, hard to win in. But after careful review, some of you might have deep issues. Some of the branding and naming rights of these teams, to be honest with you, it's unethical, it's unprofessional, and it's on borderline of just being disgusting. But I'm still here. And I put all 14 teams, try to say that, all 14 teams have been labeled and stuck into the old school Philadelphia Eagle freaking helmet. I'm going to randomly pull these 14 teams out of here from 14 all the way to 1. This takes time, and it takes a lot of research and study to make statements like I made earlier. But I think the Badger League of Fantasy Football deserves that and wants that. With that being said, the 14th pick in the Badger League of Fantasy Football, it goes to the committee. I don't know who's on the committee, but they're not happy. They're probably sulking right now with the 14th pick. Picking 13th. I love this team name. I love this brand. Count me out. Usually you say count me in. This guy says count me out. Hey, put that on my favorite fantasy football list. With the 12th pick in this year's Badger League of Fantasy Football goes to the Stroud boys. I mean, Stroud in Houston, he's a freaking hot topic, rightfully so. With the 11th pick in the Badger League of Fantasy Football, the 11th pick goes to the Street Sweepers, picking 11th. At number 10, as we enter the top 10 of the Badger League of Fantasy Football, it goes to the Guru. The Guru with the 10th pick. Now, I got to close my eyes. I'm going to number 9. And that 9th pick, it goes to Money Mike. Money Mike. Remember Johnny Football making that signal? I love that. With the 8th pick in this year's Badger League of Fantasy Football, no gamble, no future. Kind of one of those unethical guys I was talking about earlier in this video. Can't say I agree with that philosophy, but you got to like that guy. With the 7th pick in this year's Fantasy Football League, the Badger League of Fantasy Football goes to Puffin Tough. Puffin Tough at number 7. Number 6 in the Badger League of Fantasy Football, that's 6th picks, will lose for weed. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. I will lose for weed. That's just not ethical. That's not professional. That's not the kind of standing that we need. With the top 5 picks here at the Badger League of Fantasy Football, we're at the FFCA. We've already talked about the center quarterback exchange. Now this team here at number 5, I want a thorough investigation of. I'm going to call the Badger League officials. F your team. I'm not even going to say it. I mean, that's the kind of unprofessional, anti-team activity that brings us all down. With the 4th pick in the Badger League of Fantasy Football goes to Kush Cartel. You guys are really screwed up people, man. I love every one of you. The 3rd pick in the Badger League of Fantasy Football, it goes to Ted Diabasi. Eddie B. And now the final 2 picks. We got Big Badger. We got no biggie left. And the number 2 pick in this year's Badger League, I know it's exciting of fantasy football. It goes to the Big Badger. The big old Badger, Bucky Badger. I've been to Madison, Wisconsin, but that leaves us with no biggie as the number 1 pick in this year's Badger League of Fantasy Football. Hope you guys have a great year. And if you ever get to Tampa, you guys are welcome to come down to the FFCA and hang out with me. I'll buy you a beer. Stay in touch. Good luck. Don't finish last. I would hate to see what the last place finisher has to do in this league.